Falcons fans, let's get real. 2024 left a bad taste in our mouths. But this year, it's time for a comeback. And not just for the team, I'm talking about three key players who are ready to rise from the ashes and shut the critics up. One of them is a former fan favorite who hit rock bottom last year, but history says he's about to go off. Let's break it all down. And by the end, you're going to believe this team has way more juice than people think. All right, let me ask you something simple. When you're at a backyard BBQ, what's the first thing you grab off the grill? You don't want to fill up too fast, right? Gotta leave room for everything. Same goes for the Atlanta Falcons right now. Coming off an 8-9 season, they left a lot on the plate. So now in 2025, it's time to go back for seconds. And this time, finish strong. There's no massive headline today, no blockbuster trade. So what better time to look at three Falcons players who are ready for a major bounce back? I've dug deep into their past, checked the trends, and I think these guys are ready to silence the doubters. Some might bounce back bigger than others, but I've got real hope for all three. Let's start with Younghoe Koo, the Falcons kicker and one of the most consistent special teams weapons Atlanta has had in years. Until last season. 2024 was rough. I won't sugarcoat it. Koo hit just 73.5% of his field goals. That's not just a drop-off, that's a total collapse compared to what we're used to seeing from him. For 5 straight seasons before that, Koo's lowest accuracy was 86.5%. So yeah, that 13-point drop was shocking. Now, I'm not just going to say he'll bounce back because I want him to. That's not how this works. I wanted to know, has this happened to other kickers before? Guys who were elite for years, then suddenly had one awful season? So I did the research. I pulled the numbers. And here's what I found. There are 36 NFL kickers in history who have had at least 5 seasons with 86% or better on field goals. That includes names like Justin Tucker, Robbie Gould, and Adam Vinatieri, all legends. And guess what? Nearly all of them had one down year at some point. But the most important part? They bounced back. Almost every one of them. So Falcons fans, if you're worried about Koo, don't be. His track record is solid. Great kickers sometimes slip, but the great ones always find a way to return stronger. And if Koo can stabilize again, it could be a quiet but crucial X factor in close games this season. Those 3 points can decide everything, and I believe Koo's about to show why he was one of the best in the league. Who do you think will have the biggest bounce-back season for the Falcons in 2025? Is it Younghoe Koo or someone else? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. And rate your confidence in this roster on a scale of 1 to 10. Now listen, not every kicker gets a second chance. Sometimes life and in football throws a curveball that ends careers early. Take Justin Tucker, for example. He's been one of the greatest to ever do it, but right now he's dealing with legal issues, a 10-game suspension, and a lot of unknowns. Teams may still pick up the phone, sure, but as of now, we can't even be sure if Tucker will ever kick again. So for this conversation, let's respectfully move him to the side. But let's keep the research rolling because we're not just hoping for a bounce back from Younghoe Koo, we're proving it's possible. Let's talk Robbie Gould. Back in 2014, his second to last season with the Bears, Gould played only 12 games, just like Koo's 14-game season last year, and hit just 75% of his field goals. That was a career low. The Bears released him not long after, and a lot of people thought he was done. But what happened next? He went to New York for a short stint, hit 10 out of 10 field goals with the Giants, and then signed with the 49ers. And in his first 2 years in San Francisco, he hit 95% and 97% of his kicks. That's elite. Even when he dipped again in 2019 to 74%, he bounced back the next 3 years with percentages in the 80s. The guy never gave up and never stayed down for long. Still not convinced. Let's go even bigger. Adam Vinatieri, a legend, a man known for winning Super Bowls with ice in his veins. Back in 2003, Vinatieri had a rough year with the Patriots, just 73% on field goals. Sound familiar? The very next year, he exploded with 93.9%, one of the best single seasons in NFL history. Even later in his career, when he dipped with the Colts in 2009 to 77%, he bounced right back to 92.9% the following year. And Falcons fans, how could we forget Matt Bryant? In 2015, Bryant played only 10 games and hit just 77% of his kicks. But in 2016, he was a Pro Bowler and nailed 91%. That's a comeback if I've ever seen one. So what does this all mean? When a kicker like Young-Ho Koo has 5 straight years of elite consistency, over 86% every single year, you don't panic over one off season. The numbers don't lie. He's in great company, and history shows that guys like him, they bounce back. All right, Falcons fans, let's move on to our second bounce-back candidate. This one's a little different. His name is Divine Deablo, and while technically it's not a bounce-back because he wasn't with Atlanta last year, his arrival could mark a major turning point in his career, and for the Falcons' defense. This isn't just a new season for Deablo. It's a fresh start, a new city, a new scheme, and a new opportunity to remind everyone why this guy was once one of the most hyped hybrid defenders coming out of college. Falcons fans, how confident are you in Young-Ho Koo making a comeback in 2025? And what are your first thoughts on Divine Deablo joining the team? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rank your bounce-back confidence on a scale from 1 to 10. Let's talk about a player who might just become one of the Falcons' biggest defensive wild cards in 2025. Divine Deablo. Now, technically, this isn't your typical bounce-back story because Deablo didn't suit up for the Falcons last year, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have something to prove. In fact, his whole career arc has been shaped by injury setbacks, positional confusion, and questions about his fit in the NFL. But here's what's different now. Raheem Morris believes in him, and that matters more than people realize. Morris hasn't been shy about his excitement for Deablo. He sees a fast, violent, high-motor player, a guy who plays with his hair on fire. Forget the debate of is he a linebacker or a safety. That doesn't matter anymore. Morris sees a football player, plain and simple, and it sounds like Morris already has a plan. Expect to see Deablo and Caden Ellis taking most of the snaps at linebacker this year. That's your new core. When it's 1st and 10, when it's time for your base defense, Deablo will be on the field. Then you'll sprinkle in Troy Anderson on short yardage downs like 3rd and 3 to clog the middle with extra muscle. Deablo is finally in a position to succeed. No more role confusion. No more bouncing around. This could be the year we finally see him live up to that raw potential, and maybe even become a surprise X factor in Atlanta's new-look defense. Now, on to the third and final bounce-back candidate. And this one, it's a little different. It's Raheem Morris himself. Yeah, I said it. The head coach. Because look, well, we all remember the clock management disasters last season. It was brutal. Timeouts were wasted. Final drives were mismanaged. Fans were screaming at their TVs, begging for better decision-making. But this year, I'm choosing to believe. I'm putting some positive energy into the world and saying Raheem Morris is going to fix it. Maybe he's got clocks all over his house now. Maybe he's got someone whispering time out in his ear while he orders food at a restaurant. Maybe he finally realized that time moves at the same speed in football as it does in real life. Whatever it takes, he needs to own that clock this season. Because if Morris can improve his in-game decisions, this team is going to win close games they lost last year. And that could be the difference between another 8 to 9 season and a playoff spot. So yeah, I'm cheating a little by putting Morris on the list, but I'm the one making the rules here, and he deserves a second chance. Now it's your turn. Which of these 3 bounce-back stories do you believe in the most? Is it Young-Ho Koo, Divine Deablo, or Raheem Morris finally mastering the clock? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rate your confidence in each bounce-back on a scale from 1 to 10. Let's hear what the real Falcons fans think.